I'm Ken Hundley, and this is the long ball trainer model 118. This is the newest model. The first one was built in 1989. There are thousands of these machines all over the planet. You may even know someone who has one, and they would never tell you that they've got it. So let me talk to you a little bit about this, and we're going to talk a little bit about you. This is a neuromuscular trainer. Even though I got weights on this is not weightlifting. Weightlifting is designed to work on one muscle group at a time. While I'm on this machine, I'm using 80 muscles from my toes all the way to my fingertips. Because I'm using so many muscles at once, there's no ability for me to actually strain anything. I've got 5 times more resistance up here than I have at the bottom. This eliminates this and coming over the top. So there's no casting, there's no coming over the top. Now, you can buy the machine, you can come into my training facility, you can use the machine. There's all kinds of ways to get access to it. But if you are shooting in the 90s, you're not going to be able to buy it right away. You're going to need some training. If you're a scratch golfer, you might need 2 sessions on it and you're off and running. So let me explain the difference to you between a guy who's in the 90s and someone who's shooting 1 or 2 over par, and the difference in the learning disparity between those 2 guys. Okay, so here's the deal. There are basically 2 different types of golfers when it comes to learning motor skills. There's a teenage golfer and there's an adult golfer. A teenage golfer is someone that plays a lot of golf when they're young. It could even be before they're a teenager. And by the time they get to 18, they may be a scratch golfer without any golf instruction whatsoever. Bubba Watson's a good example of that. Now, a teenage golfer can stop playing golf for 10 years, and when they start up, they will start up right where they left off. There's no gap there. That's because all that motor memory stuff is cemented in their motor memory. Now, I didn't start playing a lot of golf till I was about 30, so I'm an adult golfer. When you start playing the game when you're about 30, you've got a problem. And here's the problem. You may spend twice as much time and twice as much money as that teenage golfer, and you may play golf for 20 years and you still may be having a problem breaking 80. So why are you not learning this at the same rate that teenage golfers learn it? It's all about timing. So this is what I'm talking about when I talk about timing. When you're a child, your brain is in a developmental mode. And as long as your muscles and your body is still growing, it's going to be in a developmental mode. So you learn your motor skills during this period. If you don't, you're just in trouble. So a child may start off swinging the club kind of like this, but just from hitting balls and playing golf. This is even without instruction. Your brain will take this movement into this without any help whatsoever. Now, this doesn't mean a golf instructor can't help you, but all of your learning is coming from the inside. It's an organic thing. It's coming from your brain and your body. So how do you get from here to here? Your brain sees what you're doing and it makes a muscle assignment tool active. And it basically says, this is not efficient, I'm going to make this more efficient, and also I'm going to store it in motor memory so you don't have to think about this. That's much different than someone who starts to play when they're 30. I did not own a set of golf clubs until I was 30 years old. I'm an ex-baseball player. So I think most of you know what that swing looks like. Here was my grip. That look familiar? You've all seen somebody that plays golf like that. Why is that happening? Because that person's brain is pulling out what they learned as a child, what was in motor memory, and it was baseball. So that was my issue. I started playing golf and I realized immediately I need to take some lessons. I'm taking lessons and the golf instructors can play, but they don't have a clue how to teach me what they're doing. So that's when I designed this machine. I designed it to prevent me from having that baseball swing. So here's why you're not learning this when you're 30. Once your bones get solid, and this is usually about the age of 23, that muscle assignment tool, it goes bye-bye. This means you're on your own. Now here's what that muscle assignment tool did for that child. It wired up these small muscles. And the small muscles are the ones that make the difference between a swing that looks like this and one that looks like a professional golfer. About 40% of the muscles you use to hit a golf ball are only this big. And if you don't develop the wiring to these muscles while your brain is still learning, It's virtually impossible to learn to do this on your own by just taking conventional golf lessons and going to the range and hitting balls. So if someone is telling you when you're 40, hey, all you need to do is buy the right clubs, take the right lessons, hit enough balls, you'll get it. That's only accurate if you are a teenager. So that doesn't work for everybody. Now, all that talk about learning, that's the Cliff Notes version of how your brain learns the golf swing. Down here on your left, there's a link that says How the Brain Learns the Golf Swing. That's a 7-page research project. It took me 20 years to do. So if you want to know the details about how your brain learns all motor skills at different ages, read that. When you do that, you're going to lose all the frustration you've encountered from spending a lot of time and money on your game and still not getting to where you know you're capable of getting to. So now I'm just going to hit the 5 top things that this machine can do for you. Number 1, it's going to create new wiring for you to these small muscles. When you have that wiring to the small muscles, you can start to feel stuff. After you can feel stuff, you're going to be able to get more information through your hands back to your brain concerning what sequence you should be using. This is a sequence trainer. And whatever you're doing while you're on this machine, this is going into motor memory. This turns your motor memory switch on. When you're on this machine, you're forcing the brain to crank out all this electricity. That freaks the brain out and turns it on. It's not turn the switch on because of the movement. It's turned on because of the resistance. You're also going to be able to stay on plane. When you try to cast or come over the top, you're getting off plane. This won't let you get off the plane. This is a plane trainer. Now, most of you golfers, especially the ones who've gotten up in the 50s and 60s, you've lost some range of motion. You may have been here at some point in time, but when you get in your 50s, that swing starts to go to here. This machine, every time you let this go back, it is stretching you up to a place that you can't get to on your own. In the first 2 weeks, you're going to get your range of motion back. So if you've only been going to here, I'm going to just take you to here. The next time to there, I'm not going to try to get you up there all at one time. So you're going to be able to get a lot of things accomplished in your swing in a very short period of time. This is going to teach you what you need to learn 20 times faster than just hitting balls, playing golf, and taking lessons. So here's the process. I ask you to bring your own driver when you come in. Bring a camera. I'm going to let you videotape everything I'm showing you. I'm going to let you warm up. You're going to take some practice swings, and then you're going to hit a ball into a net. And I'm going to videotape your swing, and we're going to see, I'm going to be able to see a lot about what's going on and how your brain is interpreting this command, hit the ball. The better video I can get of you is of when you're playing on the golf course. The best video I can ever possibly see of you is when you're playing and you're hitting your driver. That's the most difficult club for everybody to hit, and when I see you hit that, I can see your golf DNA. I get more information out of that than watching you hit your clubs well. So if you bring that information into me, I'm going to be able to help you a lot. And then we're going to get on the machine. Now, if you're shooting in the 90s or the high 80s, you might need a little help on this machine. This is not going to come to you right away. But in a very short period of time, I'm going to be able to make you feel what you should be doing on this machine. You can't talk feel into someone's body and their nervous system. Not anybody, not the best instructor in the world. If you're a teenager, yes. But if you're an adult, it doesn't work that way. Your brain is not working like that. It's not processing information like that. So after you hit your ball, I'm going to point out just the 5 basic power leaks. You might have 20. It's not necessary to show someone all the awful stuff that they got on the golf swing. I don't want to reinforce the negative stuff. It isn't necessary. And then I'm going to just get you on the machine and I'm going to remove a couple of power leaks. And when you get on this machine and I wire you up to these small muscles, you're going to start to feel stuff you've never felt in your life. You're going to get off the machine, you're going to swing the club, and it's going to be the most enlightening golf experience you've ever had in your life. So after you do your first set on the machine and swing the club, it's going to blow your mind a little bit. You're not going to be able to feel the head of the club on the driver. I'm going to jack you up so much. This is the strongest feeling you're ever going to have with the golf club in your hand. Now this sensation goes away in about 30 minutes, But the effect of using that machine just for 60 seconds, that'll stay with you for a week. And you're going to hit the ball farther immediately. If you leave my training facility and go to the driving range or go to play, you're going to notice that you're hitting all your clubs better. Not just because it made you stronger, but because I've also helped remove some of your power leaks. So what should you expect over a period of, say, 2 months? A full workout on this machine is 15 reps 4 times. So you got to gradually build up to that. First day you're going to do 2 sets. Second day you do 3 sets. Fourth day you do 4 sets of 15, and you're not going to be heavyweight. You're not even going to break a sweat for the first 2 months. This is not this kind of a workout. This is neuromuscular. I'm going to jack you up, and when you swing that club, you're going to freak out a little bit. You're going to be excited. If you leave my facility and go to the driving range, you're going to notice you're hitting the ball farther. And that's because you're now wired up to these small muscles. And these small muscles are taking on some of the load that your big muscles have been doing all the time. So when you have these small muscles, you can have a better swing. When you're wired up to them, you can actually feel stuff. Now you can go to a golf instructor. A good golf instructor can really help you now when you can actually feel what you're supposed to be doing. But without the wiring of these small muscles, you're really limited in what you can learn with anybody. So just how good can you get with this? Well, I've taken probably 15 guys from a 10 down to the club champion. It's not the same for any 2 people. We don't all have the same learning capacity. And our brain doesn't process information the same way. But here's what I'll tell you. This is what the average guy will get. If you're hitting your drives 200, 220 yards, if you come in 3 days a week, do a session and work out on the machine, and you do this for 2 months, you should expect another 40 yards on your drive, another 30 on your 3-wood, another 10 or 15 on your irons. Now I know that sounds ridiculous, and you should not believe me when I say that. You need to come in and check this out. You're going to find out from the first time you get on this machine if it has any potential for you. Now, after that free session, next time you come in and we do 15 minutes of work, I'm going to ask you, is this worth your money? And if you don't like what you're seeing, you're hearing, and you're feeling, you don't pay me any money. I call this a no gain, no pain policy. Now, I believe for you to get to your best game, you're going to need some golf instruction. But you should be asking your golf instructor if he's willing to give you this kind of a guarantee. If he isn't, then he doesn't have that much confidence in his ability to teach you, and I would move on. So, don't let anybody discourage you from coming in. Use your own intelligence. Come in and check this out yourself. Somebody might be trying to keep you from getting to this machine because it can do stuff for you that nobody else can do. So I'm Ken Hundley, and I'm looking forward to giving you a swing that looks something like that.